welcome back to Walser Auto Campus. My name is Alex Davis, and today we are in the wonderful Client Experience Center here at BMW of Wichita, where I'm being joined by the all-new 2022 BMW iX. Now, a brand new car for BMW with a lot of new interesting features. This is a first for BMW. This is their first venture into the full electric for the luxury SUV side. Of course, they have the BMW i3 and i8, but both hybrid cars. So this will be our first full electric for BMW in the modern era and a luxury SUV. And they do want to make that point. And I think at the end of the video, you'll see that they've made that point rather well, because this only really has one true competitor, the Tesla Model X. Now you'll say, okay, Alex, what about the EQS, a sedan? So it doesn't really compete with this. What about the Audi e-tron GT? That one is in a different price bracket. That one's in the 60s, because this one with options is sitting just over $97,000. So a true top-tier luxury SUV for BMW, which of course they're very familiar with and very good at. So I'm excited to see what you think about this car. But in traditional fashion, I do want to start with the front, because BMW, as with a lot of other luxury auto manufacturers, take evolutions rather than full revolutions. And what I mean by that is they want to get a new car out there, yes, but they want to maintain certain styling bits to make sure that you are still aware that it is a BMW when you see it on the road. And so that point is made rather well with this large grille. Now, of course, electric cars really don't need grilles because they're not doing any sort of cooling, but this one is rather interesting in the fact that it self-heals. So BMW states that this whole panel here is covered with a material that over the course of 24 hours and a little bit of heat will self-heal. So if you get a rock or other road debris in this grille, it's just like paint protection film that you put over a car that you want to keep nice and clean. This will self-heal just like that material. Now, big, large BMW grille, of course, signature for BMW to let you know that as you're approaching one or one is approaching you, that it is, of course, a BMW. So important that that is there. Brands like Tesla, of course, just started their brand identity, Rivian, in the same fashion for another electric manufacturer. And they don't do grilles because they don't need to and never have needed to. But brands like Mercedes and Porsche and Audi and BMW will do a grille when necessary to keep that sort of brand identity. Now, did it have to be this large? Certainly not, but I think it's a very nice statement piece. And I'm sorry, but what else would they do with this massive space? Speaking about space, you have a nice large intake here. For any additional wind that might need to go under the car and channel under the car. Super aggressive front lip here, and then some black fascia here. And this is black and will maintain being black regardless of the body color of the car. So we do have a black metallic paint, but this section here will remain black on the sport package vehicles. So a nice aggressive intake here with a curtain to allow for air to move past the front wheels. BMW LED lighting, they do have some new signature eyebrows, so these here, these sections will be your running lights. So a little bit different design language for BMW, took a little bit of a risk there, and I do think it looks rather aggressive on the road, and of course your headlights sitting just behind that. Now, I do want to talk about the hood because, again, electric cars, you're typically going to have a front trunk, but in this car, you are not. So the only thing that opens here is the BMW logo. This will open so that you can fill your windshield washer fluid, but this is the only way that this hood will ever open on the customer-facing side. So a rather interesting design piece, but something that was, of course, needed just for driver functionality. Now, we'll go over to the side of the vehicle where we'll talk about some new design features as well as some very interesting door handles. On the side of the BMW iX50, you'll notice some very simple lines. In that, there really aren't too many. You'll have a nice curve here, but no sharp line that we typically get on BMWs. The only sharp line you'll have here is in the form of a body line and then another line down there. But other than that, a very, very simple side structure. A little bit of lines, of course, needed over the wheel arches to give it a little bit of sharpness. But other than that, a very smooth body panel on the side. Mirrors are very aggressive, as with all BMWs. They're going to be a rather unique hexagon type shape for the driver. Cameras here, of course, cameras all the way around the vehicle. There's even a camera inside to watch you, and this is just so if you get in an accident, you can pull that footage and use that for your case. Now, I did talk about door handles, in which there appear to be none, but you simply go in, use a little electric switch, and then open comes the door. And you have a little bit of LED lighting here that is ambient lighting. You have a number of different colors to choose from. I chose blue to go with the BMW logos, and BMW's signature electrified color is that blue color. But a very pretty interior with a lot of gold detailing, which we'll get to in just a second. I want to continue along to the back because you do have, just past this 3/4 window, a nice iX badge here with a very aggressive roof spoiler that comes out quite a ways from the rear glass, and then a very smooth line running all the way down to finish off the side of the car. So simplicity really is key for this BMW iX, which I rather like. Sometimes when you add too many lines, it actually detracts from the beauty of the car. So I think that this is a very, very nice decision by BMW. So let's jump on inside and see what new and cool tech this car has to offer. All right, inside the brand new iX50. It is a very, very different landscape than BMW owners and non-BMW owners are used to seeing. This is all new design language for even a car guy like me. Very, very simple on the inside, and that is, of course, very much on purpose. So you'll have a nice large curved display here that is within driver's reach, and a completely new display in front of the driver, which is very, very nice to see. Let me close my door quick. Seat controls will be on the doors over here with 1 and 2 driver settings. This button here next to your driver settings will pull up a screen to allow you to enter the massage setting that you like or do any other adjustments that you might need to do to the seat. You will have Harman Kardon system throughout the vehicle and some rather nice materials that are used. This kind of speaker cover texture here runs up and along the dash to again provide kind of that floating dash look with a floating screen, all very this century and all very modern and cool. Some nice sleek design here for your air vents, and then you have a couple of hard buttons here for your max ventilation for any fogging that might happen. So it's nice to have those kind of panic buttons right here for easy access. But very cool vent designs, and I like the gold that was used. Kind of a new color for automotives. Typically they're going to do black, as you'll see with the piano black everywhere in every single car now, or they'll do kind of a brushed aluminum or silver look. The gold is a rather nice detail for a brand new car. They're taking a risk there, and I do like that risk. We will get it started up. Rather futuristic kind of Fortnite type sound as you start the vehicle up, and there is another one, of course, as you shut the vehicle down, kind of in the opposite tonality, a little bit of a down when you shut the vehicle off. So rather interesting stuff. But this whole screen is going to be new. This is BMW's new xDrive, or excuse me, not xDrive, but their new 8th generation of their screens. So widgets here that you can press and hold and then move about. You can also cancel them, so if you don't want your telephone or you don't want your weather or your traffic conditions, you can simply X out of it. I won't do that because I don't know how to get them back, and I don't want to piss anybody here at BMW off. So I'll go back to the home screen, but you can float through here all very nicely, super responsive, and a well-needed update to their systems. You'll have a full menu here, which I will warn you is a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of colors going on and a lot of widgets. However, if it was the exact opposite, if there were only 4 widgets, it would be rather underwhelming. So I do appreciate the fact that you have so many options for widgets. Here's your drive recorder. That's that camera, that interior camera that's sitting just above me. That will be there along with your interior camera. You'll have your climate control here, and then Apple CarPlay is even integrated within this main menu, which we'll talk about in just a second. But they customize this menu based off of your Apple CarPlay as well. So very interesting stuff there. Concentrating down here, you'll have your climate control. So if I want some ventilation, simply tap up and it will automatically go to the auto setting to do that. If you want more climate menus, you regrettably do have to bounce into a menu where then you have all of these options. So I do wish that there was hard touch buttons again, but I understand why they did it. They're going for that kind of minimalist design, so I do understand. Just something that you'll have to be aware of should you get this car. I do want to concentrate here. I'll turn the, let's see, I want to turn the auto off. There we are, just so the fan doesn't pick up on the microphone. But you'll have your heated steering wheel options, your heated seats, your ventilation here for the entire cabin, and then if you swipe over, your ventilation for your passenger. So a simple swipe will get your passenger set up as well. I want to talk about this icon and this icon, because this is something I have never heard of. I heard of it in houses, but not in cars. This is radiant heat. So if I were to turn this on and turn it up, this causes surfaces in the cabin of the car, the dash, the door panels, to offer radiant heat. So rather than having heat come just out of the fan and on your steering wheel and on your seat, the panels actually warm up to give you a nice, warm, inviting feel in colder climates. So very interesting stuff there. Getting out of the climate control menu, you will have, of course, media, which is very easy to get along with. I've been kind of messing around with it. You'll have your sound, your recognized track, so kind of your, hey Siri, what's this song? And then your manual frequency just there. And there's Siri. Perfect. Just when you think you don't need her, she pops up.
Sorry, I can't recognize music while you're in the car.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to go talk to, well, not Siri. I never want to talk to Siri. I want to talk about Apple CarPlay, because once again, as with all of our videos, we want to concentrate on what Apple CarPlay looks like within a vehicle, and this one is wonderful. Again, with some of the new style of Apple CarPlay, Automotive has really recognized and taken that into full effect, offering it on the full screen rather than just a section of the screen. You now have your entire iPhone popped up right here, ready for you when you need it. So a wonderful display there, very easy to get along with. And then if I want to pop back into BMW's iDrive system, I can either hit the home button or the BMW icon just there. Navigation and telephone use will be very easy to get along with. Telephone, of course, goes back to Apple CarPlay, but navigation, very easy to get along with. You do have spoken instructions as an option. You have destination inputs over here, and then traffic information and settings over there. And it does peel away to offer a full map that you can just simply move around, do whatever you need to do, and then get off of the screen, and it will go back to the full screen. So very easy to get along with this new iDrive 8. Now, moving in front of the driver, you will have some options here. The right side of your steering wheel will be for the screen and general media settings. And then the left side here will be your cruise control settings. This one does have adaptive cruise control where you can maintain a certain distance between the vehicle in front of you, so very nice stuff. But on this screen here, I just want to talk about what's on it at this time. On the lower left, you'll have your battery percentage. Right now we're sitting at 39% battery. It is 10:01 a.m. You'll see what seats are in use and who doesn't have their seats buckled. You'll have your speed limit just here, your drive mode, the fact that the vehicle is on and ready to go, and then exactly how many miles you have left. So we have 138 miles left at 40%. This vehicle is sitting on the 21-inch wheel option. If you wanted to get a larger wheel, you could, but it will detract from the range. The largest wheel option, you'll only get about 300 miles of range. The wheels that we're sitting on right now, you'll get about 324, I believe, according to the EPA standards. Driving conditions, of course, are going to impact that, as well as how heavy your right foot is naturally with any electric car. But the screen in front of me has taken a massive, massive leap forward for BMW. So you'll have basically whatever you want to see up here. You'll have your turn-by-turn navigation. You'll have your vehicle display showing that my rear passenger door is open, the vehicle assisted view. You'll have the cruise control content. You'll have your values for wattage uses. Right now, as I'm sitting idle, I'm using 0.4 kilowatts an hour. And then, of course, you'll also have an opportunity for just your speedo there. And then within any of this content, you can choose a layout. So let's go to map, because that's a rather interesting thing to look at and something that I would be looking at constantly. So I have my map there, but it's a little tight. I want to kind of expand it a little bit more. So I can expand it in that fashion, move the miles per hour and the EQ usage out further to the left and right, or I can simply have my miles per hour here in digital format, get out of it, and now I have a nice, massive map function here. So very wonderful to get along with. And then, of course, you have your heads-up display functionality right here with turn-by-turn heads-up for your advanced cruise control, or simply a reduced view with just your speed limit and the current speed you're going. This is very easy to get along with and very intuitive, so congratulations to BMW there for doing that for us. Steering wheel design is very interesting. I've found that even though it's not circular, it's rather nice and easy to get along with, and like I said, some more gold detailing there. Moving down to the center console area, a lot of new technology with a lot of very nice feeling features. So you'll have some gold detailing here on your gear selector. You can go into reverse, just like that. Car turns on and you'll have your 360-degree settings there for panoramic views, or you can simply go into drive mode and there's your front camera. To put it in park, in this case, I'll hit the e-brake parking spot, which then goes to park. Otherwise, you simply turn the vehicle off and get out, and that is how the vehicle is going to go into park. You don't need to set your parking brake every single time. You'll have your auto hold settings here, so when you pull up to a light and simply put your foot on the brake, it will go ahead and keep the foot on the brake until you use the accelerator pedal again. You'll have your media, your telephone, your nav switches here, your home screen here, and then of course if you wanted to use this, you certainly can, like typical BMW iDrive fashion, to click and move about the screen. So you'll have options there. You simply need to choose which you like best. You'll have your parking here, your cruise control settings just here for your driver assistance, and then your adaptive air suspension, lower or raise. Of course, it's not possible right now with the door open. That's just fine. You'll have your volume settings, a wonderfully designed switch here that kind of rolls up and rolls down. There goes our copyright infringement, but that's all right. We can use the next tracks here to change that. And then you'll have your back button just up there. But a wonderful use of space, and then a lot of extra space here in front of the driver. So if you want to put a bag or cooler, there's a lot of available space there in front. Cup holders are down here, kind of hidden, along with a 12-volt power outlet and 2 USB charging ports. I'm also using the wireless charging pad, which is down below here. Rather interesting and difficult to get along with when you first have the vehicle, but something that I feel is rather nice. You do have BMW's digital key here as well, so I do want to show you that because that'll be an option for you. This one is not activated yet. But another place, if you do want to just set your phone without charging it, will be right here. A rather nice place to put your phone out of your pocket and out of the way, but still being visible should anything come in that you need to address more immediately. Passenger also has one in their door, so a very nice use of space there and a wonderful idea overall. Center console opens up in traditional BMW fashion, a split mechanism with your key, bit of storage here, and a nice deep pocket of storage that is LED lit so you can see everything that you're doing at night. We do have a new key here for BMW, some nice aluminum trim here. Now, not quite sure why they didn't do gold, but it's going to be a mass-produced key, I would imagine, so something that they probably had to just commit to a color, and they picked silver. This will be your locking mechanism, your unlock, your trunk, and then your panic button, and the face of it is rather interestingly smooth. They felt that they could have done something here that could have said IX on it on this panel here, but again, mass-produced key, so something that they probably just had to stick to. But a very nice design and a very simple design overall, as with everything in this car. One final piece about the interior is the leaves that are positioned over on the front of the passenger side on the dash. Those are going to be representative of how this leather was dyed. So BMW took a more sustainable approach. I believe they're actually olives that were used to dye this interior. So I guess the traditional way of dyeing a leather interior is not that sustainable. So they wanted to let you know in a rather obvious fashion that this is a more sustainable interior than you might be used to. But that pretty much sums up the front. I do want to hop in the second row here to show you the practicality, because this BMW iX50 is about the same size as a BMW X5. So I want to show you what that rear seat looks like right now. All right, in the back of the iX, a lot of very usable, very comfortable room. I can kind of put my feet under the driver's seat or under the passenger seat and have a lot of knee room and a ton of headroom because of the sunroof. Now the sunroof is actually rather cool because it is, there's no sunshade. It already is tinted, but let's see if I do this, and now it goes cloudy. Rather new thing that we're seeing in automotive. We've seen it a couple of times in Mercedes products. The new Taycan product offers it as well, but you do have kind of that magic sky view. So rather interesting piece there for the sunroof. In the back of both of the seats, you'll have two USB-C charging ports, so a lot of power control back here for the rear occupants. If you were to slide this down, you do have BMW accessories that you can place in here, like a coat rack or a place to a little tray for your laptop, whatever you'd like, or probably an iPad holder as well, given the fact that there are charging ports back here. Down, AC controls will be right here for your rear occupants. They are in dual zone fashion with a couple of vent opportunities, heated seats for these occupants, the outside occupants, and then fan controls here. And then once again, you'll see some more gold detailing and ambient lighting up here, ambient lighting down here, and ambient lighting in the door. Now, all 4 of these doors are electronic switches, so you will have buttons rather than traditional handles to open up the door. Now, that being said, you do have opportunities for physical switches down here if the battery is dead. So actual mechanical switches on all 4 doors in the same position, so you can get out if you need to, if the battery is dead. If I were to pull this down, it will reveal a very comfortable armrest in a good height position, and then you simply press this and out come your 2 cup holders. So a nice opportunity there and a beautiful design overall. Now, for people that have children, down here you'll have your seat controls and your seat locks for your car seats. So you'll have a nice little leather strap here, pulls up and reveals your car seats, and then slides back down into place. Now, I have noticed that this little leather strap here can kind of cut into your lower back, so you just move it to the side, and there we go. Nice clean look there. Super easy to get along with, but beautifully trimmed leather. They even, if I kind of scoot forward, they even put the leather over here. So you have a full, once you close this door, a full leather surround. Typically, this is going to be plastic or carpet, but really beautiful, soft touch, very luxurious leather here. And they've even considered where the seat belt goes and not added any perforation there, so it should wear nicely over time. Some fixed headrests here, which is rather unique for the back seats, but very comfortable in my experience, and then a movable headrest here for the middle occupant. Now let's check out the rear cargo space and see if it is at all competitive to the X5 that it is similar in size to. All right, on the back of the new BMW iX50, you'll notice a lot of new and very cool design language. We'll start off with these taillights. They are kind of 3D in design. There's a cut in here that is relieved closer to the side of the car with a nice BMW emblem just there. So very aggressive look for the rear end and a rather new look for BMW. They've done sleek before, but they've never quite done sleek like this. You'll have iX emblem over here, and then your xDrive 50 badging over there. Now you will be getting eventually an M Performance model, so a trim up from this with slightly more horsepower, of course, and probably slightly more range. You'll also hopefully be getting a hardcore M version of this car, which would be very, very interesting to see what they do with that. But as we spoke about on the side, a nice aggressive rear spoiler here. Windshield wiper, which is visible. I'm not quite sure why they didn't tuck it up under here, but an interesting design piece there. You'll have your rear camera, which is now integrated into the BMW logo rather than sitting underneath or over it. And then to wash it, this portion of the BMW logo actually pops out and offers windshield washer fluid to that rear camera to clean it on particularly dirty days on the road. Underneath that, a rather nice integration for the license plate, and then a very aggressive diffuser for a non-M car. Some nice points here that stick out of the bumper, and on the opposite side offering a very aggressive rear end while still maintaining that simple view. Nice little mechanical switch there, and then up comes the trunk. You'll notice a couple of things right away. We have taillights. These are actually taillights. They are there to function per US regulation. If the trunk is up, there needs to be some sort of lighting function happening behind the vehicle. This is if you're on the side of the road. Mainly, I can't imagine you would need any lights if you're in a Costco parking lot, but they are there for US regulation, so something that BMW regrettably had to do. You'll notice some nice texturing here. You might have also noticed it on the doors if you were paying very close attention. The entire vehicle is made out of carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Yes, plastic. They wanted to maintain a lightweight structure while offering the rigidity that carbon fiber composite offers. On the inside of the trunk, you will have a solid tonneau cover here, along with some more storage underneath. In this case, this is where we have put our charging, but typically this will be in your home, plugged in. You really shouldn't have to bring it along with you, as charging ports are more and more available everywhere. So if this was removed, you'd have a nice bit of storage here if you want to put in some emergency things, or just add more storage for a road trip. Other than that, it is a little bit smaller than I expected, a little bit narrower than your BMW X5 offering, but still a lot of very usable space, especially when you consider that the rear seats do fold down for you, and they do fold down by power. couple of switches, less than 2 seconds, and they are down, and you can simply slide all of the equipment through that you need to. So a lot of very usable space there, which is wonderful to see for an SUV of this size. So they found out how to do that very, very nicely. You do have some compartments here, or some opportunities here to tie things down should you need to, and LED lighting so you can see what you're doing at night. So a very usable space for the back of the iX50. Thank you very much for watching this quick summary of the brand new BMW iX50. If you have any questions about this BMW, any of the client experience specialists here, we're more than happy to answer your questions. Or if you have any questions about upcoming or previous generation BMW products, they really are a wonderful source of information. So do let us know if you have any questions about this vehicle in particular, or if you'd be interested in ordering your brand new BMW iX50. Thank you very much for taking the time, and we look forward to seeing you soon.